second part of new awareness. I'm excited for today. I feel like everyone's mind could use this. And I personally felt really connected to the teachings, and I'm so grateful and happy to be able to share them with you today. Excellent. Let's get started. I love to start by chanting Om. So we're going to sit in any comfortable position, bringing our hands to heart center. Feel free to chant along with if you like. Deep inhalation. Thank you for being here. How do I like to start? Oh, by winding the torso around. Good. We are tuning in to how our bodies feel today. Starting to bring some new awareness into our meat vehicles and just awareness of our thoughts. In Goswami's teachings, this bit, he mentions a story. He mentions a story when he was in India, and a Swami, he doesn't go into details, but he was there, and the Swami had students, and he was telling the students that the problem is with your eyes. The problem is with your eyes. And the eyes wander, then so does the mind. Let's bring that into our awareness. There are some deep mystical thoughts there. As we're turning, adding aspects of the neck and the shoulders, making this our own, where the eyes sort of wander, it will make the mind wander. Let's meet back at center. Nice long torsos, inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, folding. Nice and easy. With the chest leading, hinging from the hips. You can release your hands to the floor. Good. Maybe we're releasing to the forearms. Maybe we're stacking the fists on top of each other. You have choices. Wherever that is today, we're just folding, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. One more. Smooth, steady breath in. Nice, steady breath out. 3, 2, 1. Coming back to center. Little, just gentle baby back bend, hands behind your back, fingers towards me or your booty as we lift the sternum towards the sky. Excellent. One more breath. 3, 2, 1. Good. Coming back. We are changing our feet, so whichever one is in front, we are putting it behind us. So maybe Allison knows and then we're going to wind around again as I chat a little bit more. So maybe, Allison knows I spent 8 years in India. So this story with me and Goswami really resonated with me because this archetype of a Swami I am familiar with. And I imagine him being a little harsh and firm because that's how Indian yogis are. And saying yes to his students. The problem is with your eyes. The problem is with your eyes. And if we think about horses, I know we're not horses, but racing horses, they have little blinders on them, right? one sort of thought I had, and it's, why do we do that? To keep them from being distracted, which is humorous to me. And also, we can apply that to ourselves. So we're not going to put blinders on today, even though I thought about it, but it might be too hard to put these blinders on. But we can look to, I thought of Buddha, Lord Buddha, where there's a lot of images of him with his eyes half open, half closed. Mm-hmm. Half open, half closed. So we're going to try to have that in our practice today the whole way through. My eyes might be fully open so that I don't look like I'm sleeping when I'm talking to you, but you can have these heavy, soft little eyelids, these movements really soft, and maybe that idea of if the eyes are darting around the room, maybe that's indicating the thoughts racing in our brain. So we're wanting to try to bring awareness to those thoughts today. Good. So we're going to keep winding around, knee back at center, nice long torso, inhaling, lengthening, nice broad collarbone. Exhaling, folding, hinging from the hips, nice and easy, nice and easy. Placing the hands wherever is a cozy, comfortable place. They can be stacked on top of each other. You can be on your forearms. As we take a breath here. Good. And one of Goswami's quotes from this fourth session of New Awareness that I found so profound and also softening and comforting. He says, every seeker will come face to face with his restless mind. Take that in, take a breath, maybe sink into this pose a little further, a little deeper. One more full deep breath. 3, 2, and 1. Coming back, coming back. Good. Let's just do our neck. So let's place the right shoulder the right ear towards the right shoulder. Place that right hand on top. Good, allowing the ear to come to the shoulder. Couple breaths here. Eyes half open, half closed. Good. Exhaling, come back to center to the other side. So you have your left, and left. Place that hand on top. So for me, Goswami's words were so comforting because sometimes the mind can get into these bouts of shame or guilt or I'm not enough for those things. And his words were like, everyone will come to that point where they are face to face with their restless mind. This is a normal aspect of the human condition. Releasing that neck. Good. Let's come onto all fours. Keeping that thought in our head, in our brain, that we will come up to a restless mind. And how do we combat that? Maybe the eyes half open, half closed into little blinders. As we're here with the breath, we're here in all fours, hands right below our shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide, hips above our knees. We're just gonna wind the torso, belly button is making a large circle on the floor, a large circle. Good. And we're changing directions. Beautiful. And one of the things that I like to do to combat my monkey mind, which is a normal aspect of the mind, everybody has them, is to do these little movements, little kriyas. Kriya actually means action. So we're taking action against our monkey mind. Good. We're going to come back to center, and we're going to release into this little puppy pose. So we can be on our forearms, our hips are right above our knees. If this feels good and you want to go deeper, you can even extend these arms out, placing a forehead on the mat. Even deeper still is a chin on the mat. Letting those armpits release to the floor. Tushy is up and diagonally back. One more breath. 3, 2, 1. Coming back to all fours. Winding the torso around one direction. Other direction. Do we still have our little horse blinders on? Or Buddha consciousness, Christ consciousness, half here, half in the ether. As we're winding our torso around, coming back to center, taking a deep breath, exhaling into that puppy pose, your desired depth of this puppy pose. And we learned from other series that the breath is the key companion for life. So as well as putting those blinders on, we're also still connecting with the breath. Letting the torso release closer to the floor. Maybe those armpits open up closer to the floor. One more smooth, steady breath in. Smooth, steady breath out. As we come back to center, little gentle twist. So we're just tucking those toes under, lifting the knees up, moving to the right side or your favorite side. Doesn't matter to me, however you're feeling today. Knees to one side, taking a breath, releasing to the forearms. So just knees in one direction. Forearms are parallel to each other. We're still connecting with that breath. Maybe bringing awareness to those thoughts. Maybe the thoughts have stopped. Maybe they're still running amok. Just trying to notice them. Good. As we come back to the palms, tuck those toes under, deep breath in. Exhaling, lifting up. And moving to the other side with that exhalation. Deep breath in. Exhaling back onto the forearms. I want to bring up another concept. It actually comes from Goswami Kriyananda's guru, Shelley G. He has this idea of the watcher on the hill. And I'm a very, very visual person, and visualizing helps me. Maybe it helps you. So sometimes when I'm dealing with sticky, gooey thoughts in the mind, I try to be the watcher on the hill, watching these thoughts just pass without any sort of emotionality, without any attachment. It's easier the more you do it, just like physical yoga. One more breath here. Inhaling, lengthening, using that exhalation, coming back to the full palms, tucking those toes under, back to all fours. Excellent. We're going to go into downward dog, taking a deep breath here, tucking the toes under and just lifting the sitting bones up and back. And while we're here, you have choices. How about bending these alternating knees? How about a yes, no with the neck? Warming up the spine, not the mind. Good. Changing directions with the knees, bending alternating knees. One more breath here. As we meet in a nice stationary dog, Our middle fingers are parallel to each other. We're gripping into the ground like Michael Jordan, pressing the mat, the floor away from us. One more breath. Good. Gaze at those fingertips. We're going to slowly just walk the feet up to the hands. Good. Holding on to the elbows, allowing yourself to fully surrender. Crown of the head towards the floor. The sound of your breath is almost like an ocean, giving a little bit of peace, a little bit of comfort, and maybe a little banana to that monkey mind. Don't worry, everybody comes face to face with a restless mind. It's not just you, it's not just me. One more breath. And we're gonna slowly come up to standing. You can keep your arms interlaced like a little rag doll, just vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way to standing, releasing your arms. Beautiful. We're just gonna warm up the spine a little bit more, get a little more activation in there, but in a nice, slow, smooth, steady way. Coming to the top of our mat. Your hands at heart center, maybe your eyes half closed, half open. As we inhale, these arms up overhead, folding forward. Good, we're gonna hang out right there as we bend, alternating knees, bending alternating knees here. With each breath, see if we can change our knees. So right now my feet are flat on the floor, just bending our knees. And then in a second, we're gonna lift that heel up of that bent knee. Continue this process, bringing some awareness into our hip sockets, our low back. Couple more. Good. Pick your favorite side. We're just going to add a twist. So I have my right knee bent, the heels off the mat. My left hand is going to be on the floor as I twist, lifting my right arm, right shoulder towards the sky and then towards the ceiling. Good. Holding it. One more breath. And releasing to a straight leg fold. Other side. Deep breath. Exhale, lifting up that opposite heel, opposite hand on the mat. Opposite arm towards the sky. One more breath. And releasing down. How about one more time? Each side. Deep breath. Heel comes off the mat as I twist from the base of my spine, lifting my chest. And that arm follows shoulder and arm in the same plane of existence. So the arm isn't all the way back there. It's coming straight out of the shoulder socket. One more breath. Changing sides. Lifting that opposite knee, twisting, lifting that opposite arm. Beautiful. Releasing back to center, crown of the head towards the floor. Little micro bend in the knees, reverse swan dive back to standing. So arms up and out overhead. Beautiful. Back to center. Tadasana. Lingering here just for a breath in the sweetness of this moment of stillness. Maybe there's a little calm in the brain and the mind. Good. Interlacing these fingers together, placing them towards the sky. So my palm is towards the sky. We're just going to come up on our tippy toes, stretching space in between each vertebrae, holding it, not the breath. 3, 2, and back to the full foot on the mat, palms to heart center. Excellent. I'm going to do a little sun salutation. Warming up the spine again, so we're inhaling these arms up. Exhaling, floating to the floor. We're gonna find this halfway position so your hands can be on your shins, lifting your chest. We want this lovely neutral spine. Exhale, hands on the mat, walking these feet back. We can stop at a downward dog. Next exhalation, we're shifting our shoulders above our palms, placing our knees on the mat. Slowish push up in the world, chaturanga. Into some form of cobra, lifting the chest, wherever that is, however that feels. Exhale back, downward dog. Beautiful. We're gonna lift our right leg towards, let's lift it towards the sky. Let's lift that right leg first towards the sky and then step it in between our palms. Stepping it in between our palms, we're gonna place that back knee on the mat. Nice and soft and easy. Deep breath, untuck those toes. Exhaling, lifting up into this low lunge. Engaging the arms. If we feel good in the back today, you can even lift your chest, your sternum towards the sky. Or maybe we're right here and this is enough for us today. No pressure, no force. However we feel today. One more breath. Good. Releasing the hands to the mat. Tuck that back toe under. Front leg meets the back. Meet in downward dog. Into plank, shifting our shoulders above our palms, knees on the mat. Slowest push up in the world, all the way down. Into a cobra. Keep those elbows into the low ribs. Releasing, tucking the toes, back to downward dog. Good, holding it here. Again, those eyes, half open, half closed. Don't let your visuals distract you. Left leg, nice and high, towards the sky. Deep breath. Good, on that exhalation, step it in between those palms. Back knee releases to the floor. Untuck those toes, take a breath. Lifting the torso. Holding it here, and then maybe deciding we like a little extra or not today. No pressure, wherever that is. Good. As we release all the way down, tuck that back toe under, front leg meets the back. Beautiful. Put those knees on the ground, slowest push up in the world. Into a little cobra. Exhale back, this downward dog. Gazing at those fingertips, half open, half closed, as we slowly walk our feet back to standing. Little bend in the knees, reverse swan dive, back to standing, all the way up. Hands to heart center. Tadasana. Beautiful. We're going to do the same, but add a little lizard. Everybody loves a lizard. That's a joke. I love lizards. Let's see if you love a lizard. So hands at heart center. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, folding all the way down. We're going to come up halfway. Hands on the mat. Step, hop, jump back. Or walk them back, sorry. Knees on the mat. Slowest push up in the world. Into a cobra. Exhale back, downward dog. Deep breath, right leg. Just step it in between those palms like you did in that first pose. Place that back knee on the mat. Untuck that toe. And then this foot, we're gonna walk it out to the edge of the mat, knees and toes in the same direction. You're gonna take a breath, place both hands on the mat. Good. Maybe those thoughts are running, ranting, and raving right now. You can stay right here. This is a happy place. If the thoughts are calm, we're gonna see one arm, come back, the other arm, come back. You have choices, you're an autonomous being. Where do you wanna lay? Do you wanna be right here? Or is it possible to have both elbows on the mat, both forearms? Maybe it's a little hybrid situation. We're just breathing and watching those thoughts like the watcher on the hill. Oh, any sort of deep hip openers, my mind will sometimes go bonkers. So this is a great test to see if we can put those blinders on, go back to our breath. One more smooth, steady exhalation. Good, come back to the palms. Toe heel this foot back to the center line of the mat. Tuck that back toe under. Front leg meets the back. Give me a little downward dog. Shift the weight over the palms into a plank. Knees on the mat. Slowest push-up in the world. Into cobra. Exhale back. Downward dog. Just the other side. You got this. Nice, smooth, steady movements. Deep breath in. Exhale this left leg in between those palms. Back knee on the mat. Untuck that foot. Toe heel that foot to the edge of the mat. Knees and toes, same direction. Place both hands in front. Good. Taking a breath, observing our hips. How do they feel? How do we feel today? One breath here. Then we're going to check in. Forearm. Come back. Other forearm. Come back. And now your choice. You can stay right here. You can do a hybrid or both forearms. Doesn't matter to me. Where the breath is smooth and steady, that's your sweet spot. If we're starting to hold our breath, or we have scrunchy faces, or you're like, man, I should have not have done this class today. Come back. We've gone too far. One more smooth, steady breath. 3, 2, 1. Good. Back to the palms. Toe heel that foot back to the center line of the mat. Tuck that back toe under. Deep breath. Exhale. Front leg meets the back. Give me a downward dog. How about a brief child's pose just for a second, just to tune into our bodies. So we're placing our knees on the mat, shifting back. Good. Into this little child's pose. So hips are moving closer to the heels. We're feeling the belly expand, maybe on the thighs. Maybe there's a pause or a retention before a nice, smooth, steady exhalation. Give me one more breath here. Beautiful. Full palm on the mat. Come back to all fours. Tuck those toes under. Into a downward dog. As we walk these feet up to our hands. Ragdoll. So I'm holding onto my elbows and slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming back to standing. Excellent. I have a balance pose for us today. Yes, so we can get our strap. So we may not have yoga equipment, as in a proper strap for yoga. I'm going to tell you, it don't matter. It really don't. You can have one, or you can use just a regular scarf or belt. I'm going to use a scarf. I think Allison has a belt, just to show you. You can make props out of just about anything you have in your house. So with this, you're just going to want like a little place for your foot to go. I'm going to go to the side. Good. So also, Balance poses will also sometimes dictate the quality of our mind. So we're going to find a dristi, which is a non-moving part on the floor in front of us. Hopefully your eyes are still half open, half closed. And we're going to lasso this foot. You also can be near a wall if you feel like, yeah, my balance is not that great today, or I would like some support. You can decide. So I have this scarf around the top of my foot. Good. And we're just going to lovingly kind of pull this heel towards our bum, your dupa, your gluteus maximus, as your elbow keeps hugging into your low ribs. Good. We can hold that right there. Finding that dristi, a non-moving point on the wall or the floor or wherever that is. Good. One more breath here. Beautiful. Knee pointing towards the floor, and you can stay right here. This is a happy, happy, happy place to be. Or if you'd like a challenge today and the mind seems calm and smooth and steady, let's see if we just kick this heel away from the bum. How about extending that opposite arm? Finding the breath in the belly, finding that non-moving point, that dristi. 3, 2, and go ahead, release everything back to that first stage. See if you can hold it here. 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 3, 2, and release this out. Good. Victory shakes. Oh, good job. Not words of discouragement, words of encouragement. Good. Change sides. You got this. Don't worry. Everybody comes face to face with a restless mind. I've been telling myself that all week. And I'll tell you, it gives me a lot of solace to know that it's not just me. It's not just my monkey mind. It's the quality of the mind, which really helps when you understand it that way. Good. I'm lassoing my foot, knee towards the floor, elbow into the ribs, holding it here. Again, you can hold on to a wall or not. Your toes like a little gecko pressing into the mat, gripping, finding the breath into the low belly, finding that balance. Good. Again, happy place to be. You can stay right here. No judgment. You're only in competition with yourself. One more breath. And on that exhalation, you can decide to kick that foot away from the bum. Extend that opposite arm. Gaze a little higher, lifting our thoughts up out of this ether. One more breath, lifting. 3, 2, and releasing that knee. Hold back, holding this first position. How many seconds can we do? 3, 2, and 1. Good. Releasing this strap all the way down. Victory shakes. Good. Just come down to your mat. It doesn't matter how we get there. We're going to come to this high kneeling position. Good. Just throw your prop off to the side. Hands on hips, elbows towards the back room. Good. We're going to take this right foot, bring it in front of us, and then out to the side. And then straighten it. Toes back towards you. Slide that same hand down that thigh. Opposite arm, just reach towards the ceiling. Trying to lift our chest towards the sky. Lifting it. Good. Any more? Lifting. 3, 2, deep breath. We're going to fold forward. So I'm releasing and just folding forward. Good. Placing these hands, and then my toe direction will go towards you, not up anymore. Good. And we're right here. Full palm on the mat. One more breath. And coming back and bringing this back in. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's do the other side. Opposite leg. Good. Extend it out. Toes back towards you. Same hand, slide it down. Opposite arm towards the sky. Just towards the sky. Lifting the chest. Maybe we're feeling this all along our side body. That's where I want it. Good. If you're not, you can go a little further. One more breath. You're doing great. 3, 2, releasing, come back to center, just moving forward, using those hands. My toe sort of rotates. It's a little easier when they come towards you. Otherwise, it's pretty deep if the toes are still up towards the sky. But if that feels cozy for you, you can also do that. One more breath. And come back, come back, come back. Beautiful. We're gonna release this leg back in. And I hope it's fun for you. I got a lion's breath for you. It's gonna be so fun. I think it's one of my favorites. Good, so we're sitting in this wide position. So my toes are touching. If there's any tension, you can actually place, well, maybe the belt doesn't do the thing, but you can always place like a little shawl or a blanket underneath the tops of the feet if they hurt. Good, so my knees are as wide as they possibly can go. You are going to lift your undeveloped muscle here, place it on those sitting bones. Excellent. Taking a couple breaths here. Checking in with our minds, the quality of our mind. Beautiful. We're going to take our palms, wrists facing outward, and place them on the floor here. You're going to see how that feels. If there's any tension, place them forward. But ideally, I'd love these wrists moving outward. Excellent. So maybe I'll show you, and then we'll do it together. It's funny. It's funny. You can laugh. It's enjoyable. But we're going to gaze up on the inhalation, and then on the exhalation, real wide tongue. Ah. And you can even cross your eyes and almost expel any sort of negative energy or thoughts, bad thoughts. Good, let's do this together without the instruction. We know this. So we're gonna inhale, looking up, exhale. Good, let's do this a couple more times. Feels good, doesn't it? Good, gazing forward, inhaling, exhaling. You can make a sound, you don't have to. You can cross your eyes, you don't have to. Gazing forward, lifting the chest, inhaling. Exhaling, lion's breath. One more, 2 more, let's see. Inhaling, lengthening. So I'm also untucking my sitting bones, lengthening my spine, lifting my chest, deep breath in. One more for funsies. Beautiful. Release these hands. Bring these knees a little closer. Good. And you made it to cool downs. Let's begin to cool down. We're going to release to the floor. Ooh. First, I thought of the resurrection breath. That was a pranayama, the lion's breath. But another one that Goswami loves is resurrection breath. So before we recline all the way down, because it's going to be a little harder, we're sitting up nice and tall, and we're going to exhale twice over our left shoulder. And coming back. As simple as that. Let's do it one more time together. Resurrection breath. Good. And coming back to center. We're going to release onto the mat. I'll give you a little instruction as you're in this banana pose for that resurrection breath. So we're releasing all the way down, and we're going to cross one ankle over the other, arms up overhead, holding that same side ankle, and then we're going to take both of those parts to the edge of the mat. You're going to leave your sitting bones there. So just my feet are at the edge of the mat and my hands. So if you look at it, I kind of look like a banana. No, it's got a little Little bend in it. Good. As we're breathing into our low belly, the resurrection breath. I do it so often. It also will help stop that train of thoughts that comes in. Seems hippy-dippy, but just try it. I promise you it works, or at least I think it will. Yes, just try. Goswami likes to talk about groups. They don't come alone. They come with friends, a grouplet of friends. So you have one thought and then all of its friends come. And then you have a whole party in your mind that you were not expecting. And a great way to kind of turn the lights off at that party and tell you, hey, this party is over, is that resurrection breath. There's mystical reasons to it. He talks about it in his book. One more breath. Good. Let's bring these hands back to center, these feet back to center, and we're going to change the crossing of our feet and change the hand position of our feet, taking a breath. And then exhaling, arms to the corner, legs to the corner, little banana pose, little banana pose. Good. Resting here. As we inhale, lengthen. Exhale, let's come back to center, bringing these feet back to center, uncrossing everything. How about knees into the chest? A little twist on each side before we move into a reconstructive rest pose or Shavasana. Knees into the chest, deep breath in. Exhaling, releasing these knees to the right. Placing that right hand on that thigh, opposite arm extends out. You can gaze in that direction or just gaze towards the ceiling if there's any tension on the neck. Good. Deep breath in. Exhaling, coming back to the center line of the mat. Then moving beyond. With that exhalation, releasing the knees to the floor, placing that hand on the thigh. How's the watcher on the hill? Did it go down off the hill and engage in the shenanigans, or is it still watching, just observing on top of that hill? One more breath. Exhale and back to center, knees into your chest. Tell yourself how awesome you are today. Replacing maybe bad thoughts with good thoughts. Tell yourself how awesome you are today. 3, 2, and releasing the feet down. I want to give you an option. Reconstructive rest pose. So I'm having my feet greater than hip width distance apart. My toes are pointing inward and my knees are resting on each other. Palms facing up. You're going to stay in this position. I'm going to remove myself from this position. And this position will be our Shavasana. Shavasana normally is in that corpse pose that we've done before, but this is a wonderful option. It's great if there's any back pain. And in the teachings, Goswami mentions to having a comfortable place, a comfortable seated position for this sadhana. But there may be some physical limitations that it seems uncomfortable to sit. So he mentions that his guru, Shaliji, the Watcher on the Hill guy, mentions that you could lay down if we can maintain our awareness and attention without falling asleep, going into the unconscious. And I have noticed that this is a wonderful pose for that. Sometimes when my body feels less cooperative, this is the pose that I will meditate in. Good. So you're here. I'm going to soften mine as we're here in this final little relaxation. Neti, neti, neti is actually a Sanskrit mantra that means you are not this thought. You are not that thought. You are not your thoughts. Another wonderful thing I've learned from the Temple of Kriya Yoga, Kriyology. Neti, neti, neti. As we bring our awareness to our feet, to our toes, observing any sensations. Maybe the floor touching the feet, the pads of our feet. As we move that awareness to your ankles, to your shins, to your calves, up your strong, stable, healthy knees, past your hamstrings, your quadriceps, your hip sockets, your low back, observing, noticing, witnessing. Neti, neti, neti. You are not this thought. You are not that thought. You are not your thoughts. As we bring our awareness to our belly, our breath, the rise and fall of the belly, the rise and fall of the breath. Bringing that awareness up to our chest, to our heart. Letting any tension in our shoulders, our upper back begin to release. Down, biceps, triceps, forearms, and out each and every fingertip. Raising that awareness to your throat, your jaw, your cheeks, your eyes, and resting right here at our third eye, the space in between and behind our eyebrows. As we hold our awareness at the sun center, preparing for our sadhana practice. Neti, neti, neti. You are not this thought. You are not that thought. You, my beloved, are not thoughts. observing that beyond the thoughts for just 30 more seconds. As we begin to wiggle our fingers and our toes coming back into the body, maybe we like a wiggle wiggle, or knees to one side, knees to the other. On the next exhalation, we're rolling all the way to the right side, resting in this cozy fetal position, lingering in this moment of stillness. Using the strength of your arms, keeping your head heavy. Slowly come back to a comfortable, seated position. So much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.
Mm. I don't want to too much to disturb the mood because it's perfect. Yeah, Goswami's going to walk us through first the noticing the neti neti. We're not our thoughts. And it takes so much practice to notice the difference between those thoughts that just crop up unbidden. I heard a story, I don't know if it's true or not, true in the little t sense, but I think it's true in the big T sense, that when baby elephants are being restless and causing trouble, the mothers will give them something to carry in their trunk. And that's kind of how I thought when you were on the mat today. The more you would give me to do, the more you would give me to carry in my trunk, the less likely my mind would be restless and cause trouble. And then, of course, Goswami's going to then take it a step further and teach us how to intentionally choose what we carry. So it's beautiful, Kristen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.